Turning of the book, this is the two of us. That's me, Andrew D. Morgan, there at the bottom. And the other guy was, the writer was Leland Berg. So it's quite interesting how this all got rolling, if I'm honest with you. I was stuck for a hobby. It's like a mixture between Tintin, Inspector Gadget, and Ghostbusters. And how that breaks down was that in Louisiana Bayous, a character, a scientist called Coldbridge, who had a number of gadgets and various other arcane magical tricks, would go and hunt down poltergeists in the woods. So I wanted to get a nice dynamic shot in here of one of our main characters, the fox, and then being tracked down by Coldbridge's dog. There's our first dynamic image of Coldbridge and his dog hunting down the prey. And I just wanted to set up a little bit of doom and with that crow there looking on, a bit of the dynamism, and jumping over an alligator. I just focused back in on that because it's like a little mini comedy comic, I thought. Repeat. Actually, that front page was something that was just this panel, and then I thought, actually, I'm probably not going to be able to crack out a better image than this now in this book. So, yeah. I can remember reading this bit here of the script, and it was basically, the description was that came from Leland was, right, what happens is the fox turns to like jelly and folds in on itself, and then when it folds in on itself, it sort of slithers up the tree like a snake. I was like, how can a fox turn to jelly realistically and then turn into have the properties of a snake and then slide up a tree? I mean, I sensed that I could animate that, like actually give it motion, but to actually, in a couple of panels, draw that and make it happen, I found it impossible. So I had to break it down into a number of panels here where like the fox turns round, pauses, and I wanted to show the breaking of the different bones of the body to make it actively look like he was turning, his skeleton was turning to jelly before he kind of collapsed on the floor like a snake, and then decided to scramble up the tree. A bit of a challenge that. I didn't enjoy that page at all, and I think it sort of reflected in the lack of confidence in the image making. Slithers up the tree, and a little over the fox's shoulder, looking down on Imp as he runs towards him, constantly tracking. And here we are, the first slightly mental thing. So this is the first what I'd call sort of a wild style panel where I've just gone, just go for it. And I got a little bit of detail on that skull, obviously. I'd got a reference material, and then I just thought, right, have at it. And, I'm sort of inspired by, like, graffiti styles and, and I wanted to make this indicative of a sort of steampunk era, but I also wanted to give it a sort of kind of modernist wild style to it. And this was the first panel that I got the opportunity to let fly with that, where the fox that has no bones in it, that had wrapped itself around a branch, had decided to go on the attack. It was also, having done this panel, and it took me a good 4 or 5 hours on this panel, that I realised, God, I wasn't going to be able to deliver this level of detail at all on all the other panels that I'd done, because 4 or 5 panels, 100 odd panels, it's going to end up taking months and months and months to deliver this, because I'm doing the colours and inking and then the penciling and planning it all out. I realised that actually comics is not just about being able to draw incredibly. It's about being able to draw hundreds of images really quickly and incredibly. It just gave me an even greater appreciation of the form. Right, come on to this panel. Quite why I made this so complicated on myself, I don't know why. But I wanted to get the idea across that the fox was attacking the dog, and, you know, that there was and I wanted to get a sense of what that action was. And I wanted it to reveal that, you know, the attack smashes from the fox, attacks the dog, and they go for a roly-poly through the water. And this is how I came up with it. Now, I'm sort of proud of this panel, but I've asked a lot of people, and yeah, nobody really thinks it makes sense. What are you going to do? Oh, what a sound effect. One of my favourites. One of my own invention. Coldbridge eventually catches up with the fox and plunges a sword into its soul, it would appear. And light starts emanating from this. I mean, I was having difficulty with this fox, I don't mind telling you, the way it looked, how to draw it quickly. But I needed to show a spirit or poltergeist emerging from it, and this is what happened. It's emanating from this. I mean, I was having difficulty with this fox, I don't mind telling you, the way it looked, how to draw it quickly. But I needed to show a spirit or poltergeist emerging from it, and this is what happened. A big squiddy poltergeisty thing. I don't know why I went squid. I think it's because I just like squids and jellyfish and sort of cephalopods, or the cephalopod family. And again, this is an opportunity for me to just get a little bit crazy with the design, make it a little bit modernistic. And I was trying to get the colour scheme looking a little bit modernist, you know. I'm also experimenting with different styles, sort of flat backgrounds, sort of textures and stuff like that. So I've delivered that page wrong, and I started at the bottom, but you get the idea. Coldbridge decides to take on this poltergeist, and he does so with some specially treated film that he loads into his camera. And when the poltergeist, was he got a geist? He calls it a geist. When the geist attacks him, and also glump, snarl. Yeah, gosh, I make those noises. I mean, I look at these panels now, and I did it a few years ago now, two and a half years ago now, and I hate them. But it is the only way, like doing it this quick is the only way that I could commit to doing it, because doing the colours, doing the penciling, doing the inking, you know, getting it all happening, a lot to do, not recommended. Work with somebody. It's not about the art you're making, it's about the conversation you're having with other people while you're making it. With any luck, you know, you'll inspire other people to get creative too. He eventually captures the geist by jumping up, trapping him on some special film, the plate in the camera. We did it in 3 suckers on his thing. Yeah, I don't want to just tell you the story necessarily, I just want to talk you through some of the panels. Had a little bit of fun with him. I wanted to make this old way. I wanted to do a new kind of wizard. What sort of wizard would live or come from America? Who would he be? So there's a bit of Gandalf the Grey in there, I suppose, but ultimately I wanted to give him a sort of Western flavour, so that's why the hat, but then the feathers out of a sort of respect for indigenous or Aboriginal cultures of America, less Western garb and more sort of, tassels on the boots, like a sort of doffing of the hat to the tribes people of America. And then in a sort of European, sort of semi-religious environment where he's, in the past where he's talking about it, showing how the poltergeist had escaped from initially. And then a sort of quick argument with Coldbridge about why he needs to take the geist away from him. This is the first bit of real kind of character-to-character interaction, like a conversation, and I was quite happy with it. I can remember things like, a lot of this stuff just happens unintentionally, but I can remember looking at this panel, for example, and I could have just done it in one panel, but I wanted to show in two panels, but I wanted to show like a kind of distancing between the two, so I put this pole right in the middle, and that pole acts as a sort of page divider, but also shows that they're at conflict, they're in two different camps, they don't agree with each other. And just in case, then I realised that actually Emp as a character, the wee dog, he could reflect Coldbridge's emotions, actually helping Coldbridge's emotion by ably responding the way that Coldbridge is on the inside, so it's a sort of window into Coldbridge's true emotional status. Eventually Theodore, the wizard, demands the contained geist, and Coldbridge throws it away in a self-satisfied, smug look in his face, only for the poltergeist, which has been stored in this slate of film, appears back in his hands. Coldbridge is left looking like an idiot. Now, I stole this panel from The Bruins of Oor Willie, which is a sort of old Scottish comic with a little boy, and every time he was annoyed he'd always kick a little pebble on the floor like, oh Jesus, that's annoying. That's going to appear in a lot of my comics. I just love that little bit of acting, that little bit of performance. Coldbridge walks off, and then the final panel where they're off to see the guild of wizards who in that city over in the back of the book there's some of the these were used. Cut to some quick examples, as you can see. None of those were used. And then first page Creatures of Coldbridge. Now, in many ways, if I had my way, I'd just draw the thing like that, nice and sketchy and loosey-goosey. But these days, the sophisticated teenage market, I think, demands something a little bit more finished than that, which is what I tried to deliver on this occasion. So, yeah. Quick shout out to this, probably my favourite panel of the thing. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's particularly good dog anatomy. That arm looks bent back. And then the beginning panels to the next issue, which is being released, and has been released, I should say, elsewhere. And then a bit of a shout out to my pals Bill, Kieran, Tom and Leland, who all helped me get it done, because these things are difficult to get done off your own back. And of course the Six Fingers of Fate, which is a sort of little group of pals that all make comics, the Dalston Comic Clubs, who also make comics. A bit of a shout out to them. And that's the end, a little kind of quick intro to the comic that did get released. There's a total of sort of 400 or 500 of those that got made. I had 300 made. I have got like 10 left, and I'm going to keep those to give to people when I see them, or as special giveaways to help motivate the next comic book project that I do, which the first issue's been written now, so it's coming out shortly. And hopefully you can get behind that, and we'll get it on Kickstarter in the next year. Thanks very much for joining me. I know that's, some people might think that's a little bit self-indulgent, but you know, I think if you've got it done and nobody can see it because it's all sold out virtually, then you know, this is as good as an opportunity for me to show people as any. Have a great day. Big love, Andy.